So in yesterday's video, we learned how to label triangles as congruent by using proper corresponding parts. And today what we're going to do is work on some of the theorems that we can say, hey, these marks, because they're in these certain locations, mean these triangles are congruent. And then you go back and use CP/CTC again in order to properly label triangles as congruent. A couple of things really quickly. These are your 5 answer choices, with the 6 answer choices not being congruent, that you will ever use for multiple choice tests. So side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, HL. Okay. Very quickly, let me just put a little note up here. A on this tree diagram means angle, and then S is going to mean side. Okay, so I used to not like these theorems, but the more I use them, the more I like them. Okay, now the way I like to think about this is do all of this times 2. Now the reason I say SSS times 2 is because we're going to be comparing 2 triangles. Okay, so this SSS times 2 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 S's. What this means is that you need to know 6 sides of 2 triangles, or all 6 sides of 2 triangles, in order to use this theorem. If you don't, you cannot say these triangles are congruent by side, side, side. Okay. So a note: all sides of both triangles must be known. Okay. And again, this stands for side, side, side. Now, side, angle, side, I'm going to do the same thing. SAS times 2. So I would get essentially side, angle, side, side, angle, side, which I must know 4 sides and 2 angles. But something that's extremely important here is your angle that you know must be in between. So the angle is between your 2 known sides. All right, and this must be true for all triangles, or excuse me, for both of your triangles. Okay, the last one we're going to look at today is ASA. Again, multiply it by 2. So we're just going to write ASA, ASA. Okay, now we have 4 angles and 2 sides, with the known side S is between the angles. Okay, so maybe a little confusing, right? But we'll go through and try and just look at some examples and see if we can't pick out. So we used SSS, SAS, and then angle, side, angle. Okay. The first question I'm going to look at is one where the triangles aren't touching, right? Because what we have is what we got, right? We can't add anything. So 1 is touching, 2 is touching, 3, 4 touching, 5 is not touching. Okay, so what do I know? Okay, So I have a side mark and a side mark. So I know two sides. And I also know two angles. So by knowing two sides and two angles, can I use side, 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 angle, side, or angle, side, angle? So I must know all sides for side, 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 four sides, two angles for side, angle, side, and then four angles, two sides for angle, side, angle. So number 5, I can't use any of the 3 we looked at today. That doesn't mean that they're not congruent yet. We'll come back and look at this one again tomorrow. So again, 6 is touching, we're not going to use. 7 is not touching. Okay, so again, what do I know? Okay, so I know 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. All right, and there's 1, 2 angles. So again, my theorems: side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, side, side, side. I must know 6 sides. Side, angle, side is 4 side, 2 angle. Angle, side, angle is just the opposite. So 4 angles, 2 sides. Because they're not touching, that means I cannot use or make up any new marks. So therefore, it's not congruent by side, side, side. Side, angle, side, 4 sides, 2 angles, 4 sides, 2 angles. So it's a possibility. Angle, side, angle says I need 4 angles. Well, I only know 2, right? So I can't magically make new ones appear. Now, the way we counted these triangles yesterday is extremely important. So if I start and I go this way, okay, I'm going to start at the one side and I'm going to go to the side with 2 angle marks. Okay. When I do that, my angle with 1 mark is trapped between the 2 sides that are marked. So what I'm saying is this angle right here has to be or is in the location that I just drew that 1 arrow to. So it should be here. But the angle I have marked is not in the same place, right? This angle is not in between the 2 known sides. Because of that reason, I cannot use side, angle, side. Again, these are only 3 of the possible 5 theorems. Doesn't mean it's not congruent. Just means it's not congruent today. Okay. Number 8, they're not touching. All right. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So I know 6 sides, 0 angles. Because of that, I can immediately get rid of angle, side, angle, and side, angle, side because I don't know enough angles. Now, side, side, side must know all 6 sides, which I do. Now, to say that these triangles are congruent by side, 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 you must have the same markings. So what I'm going to do is erase all of these marks. So I have a side with 3 over here on the left. I have a side with 3 on the right. I have a side with 2. I must also have another side with 2. Last but not least, have a side with 1. So I must also have another side with 1. if your sides are not the same, right? Remember, these marks mean that the sides and the angles are the same. If they're not the same, then knowing the marks is no longer helpful, okay? So because these marks are the same, we know all 6 of them, we can say congruent by side, side, side. All right. In the next video, we will cover, or I'll go back over these, and I'll cover the examples that are touching.